Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is the newest attraction in Walt Disney World. This is the first roller coaster ever added to Epcot, and it may be the best coaster at any Disney park worldwide. Excited to hop in line? Not so fast. This coaster uses a virtual queue system. In this video, I will explain how the virtual queue works for Guardians, and much of this advice will likely apply to upcoming attractions like Tron as well. I suspect the system will be discontinued on Guardians sometime in the next year, but in case you're riding it in the near future, here is an overview of the system, and this is how the system works as of mid-November 2022. Keep in mind Disney could change this at any point. In fact, they've already tweaked it a few times over the past year. Ever since Rise of the Resistance, Disney has been using the system for their newest attraction in the United States. It is intended to prevent the latest and greatest ride from having multi-hour waits. However, this turns the ride into a pseudo-lottery, although I would argue there's definitely skill involved, as it's more or less a game of fastest finger. I'm not a fan of this system. It restricts how many times you can experience the attraction, and can potentially lock guests out from riding it if they have technological issues or lose track of time. I get why Disney does this to minimize how many people are stuck in this one line, but it can lead to a lot of stress. I suspect this system will be discontinued sometime in the next year, but in case you're riding it in the near future, here is an overview of the system, and this is how it runs as of mid-November 2022. Disney has changed the rules before, so feel free to skip to the time on screen if you want to bypass this part of the video. There are 3 times of day when the boarding groups are released: 7 AM, 1 PM, and 6 PM. The 7 and 1 o'clock releases are available to all day guests. To be eligible for the 7 AM drop, you must have a valid Epcot reservation. Then you can use the My Disney Experience app to secure your spot in the virtual queue. This is before Epcot opens, so it can be done anywhere. It can be done at your hotel room, or even in another state. It just matters that you reserved Epcot for the day. The 1 PM drop requires you to be physically inside Epcot. This is why you'll see a bunch of people staring at their phones like zombies around this time. The 6 PM drop is a special one. This is for resort guests applicable to the extended evening hours. You are allowed to get an additional return time for this event even if you already got one earlier in the day. When you enter the My Disney Experience app, there's a section called Virtual Queues. You can then click Join Virtual Queues. Go to the one for Guardians of the Galaxy. 1 hour before the release times, you can go in to confirm your party. You want to make sure everyone you're visiting the park with is part of this group. Those who are will get a boarding group when the time comes and you go through the process. If it's incorrect, you can go use the edit option. I recommend setting 2 alarms. Set one alarm that is 1 or 2 minutes before the release time. This is your signal to enter the My Disney Experience app to get ready. Go to the Guardians virtual queue once again, hit Confirm Party again. At the bottom, you will see a button that says Refresh. Your second alarm should be for the release time. The instant your alarm sounds and your phone says the designated time, start spamming the refresh button. It should turn into Join Virtual Queue. Do not read what it says, just quickly click on it. On the next screen, click Done and it'll tell you what your boarding group is and the estimated time until it's called. Multiple people in your group can try, but each member will only get 1 reservation. Whoever goes through first will get it. Boarding groups for the 7 AM release can disappear in seconds, but using my method, you can get an early return time. I've gotten Group 1 a few times. Times tend to stick around a bit later after the 1 PM release, but you'll still want to grab one as quickly as possible just to be safe, especially if you're visiting on a busy day. Once your time is called, you officially have just an hour to return. If you return during this time, your Magic Band or park ticket will scan green at the entrance. If you arrive more than 15 minutes after your window ends, it will scan blue. At this point, it's at the discretion of the cast member if they'll admit you. But from what I've seen and heard, they will admit anyone with a boarding group as long as it had already been called. I found that out firsthand. On that note, the estimated return times can be inaccurate. We had Group 5 and the callback time was estimated at 100 minutes, which meant it would have started 10 minutes after the park opening. That made sense. However, our boarding group was called a half hour before the park even opened. I have heard the ride is tended to open early most days, so keep that in mind if you get an early boarding group. If you have one later, just keep an eye how the groups are progressing through the day, because that'll tip you off when you'll likely be called. The wait times with the boarding groups are really short in the morning. I've waited just 15 to 20 minutes max at that time, but some of the afternoon times have had me wait 2 to 3 times that. As I mentioned earlier, I suspect the virtual queue system will be eliminated soon. The biggest reason it stuck around for as long as it did with Rise of the Resistance was that ride's poor reliability. It was eliminated faster in rides like Ratatouille and Spider-Man Web Slingers that had high uptime. Guardians has been extremely reliable and it has great capacity for a roller coaster. While I am not a fan of the virtual queue, it currently is the only free way to experience Guardians of the Galaxy, and hopefully this video helps you get a return time. If you enjoyed this informational video, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.